Hi, this is Nicholas Kruger, and I'd like to give a tutorial on how to use MechJeb 2 version 2.0.8. Basically, we're just going to construct a orbital rocket. This is going to give you a nice tutorial on how to, if you're new to MechJeb, on how to use it to fly into orbit and return your Kerbal safely back. We're going to use the infinite field sheet just because building a small rocket takes less time. So of course we need the standard capsule parachute and decoupler. Okay, now we need to get let's stick the FLT 400 fuel tank underneath that right there. And now we need to put an engine on it right there. And that should get off the ground if we use infinite fuel. Oh, and of course we can't forget the MechJeb case. It's in the control section. Basically, what I usually do is stick it on the opposite side of the mech. When using the Mech 1 pod, I usually just stick it on the opposite side of the cabin. Oh, and of course we can't forget the solar panels. Come on, there we go. Oh, stick. Ah, there we go. Okay, now we just need to save and launch. Yes, clear the launch pad. Okay, we're on the launch pad. Now I was just using MechJeb to fly a plane earlier. That's why I have the spaceplane guidance out. But for this exercise, at first we're going to need to load the ascent guidance. I have it so that the orbit altitude is a nice 80 kilometers and, oh, hold on. Forgot to enable the infinite fuel sheet, so you don't run out of fuel and smash back into the ground. Anyway, I have it so its orbit altitude is 8 kilometers, inclination is 0, so we get a nice equilateral orbit. Then I have prevent overheats, limit the terminal velocity, which basically lowers your thrust to as low as possible, while still giving you a decent acceleration. Corrective steering, I have no idea what that does. Auto stage automatically stages your spacecraft. You can select how long the delays you want. Auto warp automatically warps it to apoapsis. Because I forgot to map the things to action groups, I gotta turn off the auto warp. Anyway, finally press engage autopilot. Then press space. Oh. So yeah, one important thing I forgot is that you can change your gravity by clicking ascent path. You can edit your gravity turn. I like to have it so that the turn ends at a mere 1.5 kilometers. I mean, starts at 1.5 kilometers, then ends at 160 kilometers. Gives it a nice turn angle even at some of the highest altitudes. Final path flight angle 0. And turn shape is 45 degrees. Which, typical. Okay, let's turn on physics warp to make this thing go faster. Look at it rocking. Okay. Well, unfortunately, sometimes when you use 4 times physics warp, the altimeter wants to blank out, which really sucks. But hey, if you use MechJeb most of the time like me, you don't really have to worry about that because MechJeb flies it for you. So let's see. Now that we got the 80-kilometer apoapsis, I guess we need to lower the physics warp so we can deploy solar panels and we don't run out of power. MechJeb 2 uses the new maneuver node system. So if you were using MechJeb version 1.9.8, which I think was the last release before, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the last public release before MechJeb 2 came out. Then this MechJeb, it does take a while to get used to it. I have been using it for a while now, but it did take me a while to get used to using it. Well, that gets into orbit. It's a good idea to, after MechJeb is done circularizing, check your periapsis. If it's not above 70 kilometers, then you may need to use the maneuver planner, which I will demonstrate in the deorbiting maneuver later. There are different places to burn. Like on this circularize, you can pick whatever time you want from like right now game time, at the next apoapsis, at the next periapsis, or in an altitude of whatever. So, basically just move orbit a few times. Once the sun comes up, I'm going to demonstrate the deorbit maneuver. Alright, so the sun's up. I'm going to pull out a time warp. So, this is how I do the deorbit. I press this button to change it to change periapsis. Then I type in 0 kilometers, create and execute. If you have the auto warp button, and it will automatically warp you to the maneuver node. It's a good idea. MechJeb will not automatically do the maneuver node unless it says execute node, which is why MechJeb is also great for guidance for those who are against autopilots. All right, a great place to put it is to use the automatic stability. You can orbit where you can put prograde, retrograde, nominal plus, nominal minus, radial plus, or radial minus. Surface where you put like heading, this number would be 90 and the pitch would be 90 degrees up. So if I press and the roll would be 0 degrees. So if I press execute, it does that. Target, you have to select a target for those things. And advanced, I don't really use that, so I don't really know how to. Kill rotation makes it, if you spin out control, it's a great one. Node makes you face the direction of your node. I'm going to put retrograde so I can have a nice re-entry. And, well, that's all I have for this tutorial. See you next time, fellow KSPers.